Welcome back, y'all. It's the Monty and Ads. I always say Monty. I'm just used to saying Monty. Mont Ads podcast. It sounds better when you say it that way. Don't know why. It sounds better when you say it Mont Ads the podcast. It keeps it short and sweet.
Yes, it does.
So, Ash, thank you for doing this once again. This is episode number 6.
Yeah, guys, this is exciting. We're making it, guys. Going strong.
You have changed clothes. You went backstage and changed clothes.
Yes, I did. Got out of my work clothes.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Something else on. Change it up, spice it up a little bit.
I love it. I love it.
Not too spicy. Not like the outfit I wore at Monty's
I love it.
comedy event that we had. Phenomenal, guys. Next time, be there.
It's going to be on the 24th, I believe.
Okay.
I'm gonna write this down because the actual Halloween is that next Sunday.
Yes.
So I want to do it on the. Everybody said, yeah, we should all dress up. Yeah, we can still dress up on the 24th.
I mean,
if you really
I
want
would.
to. I would too.
I'd be Black Widow.
Yes, I was awesome.
Yes,
So the
I
thing
have
is,
the wig and everything.
I don't want to do it actually on Halloween because I'm pretty sure people got parties to go to. People want to find ways to. No, we're not gonna do it on Halloween. We'll do it the weekend before, the Sunday before.
Sounds good.
So I can't wait. Which I want to say is the 24th of October.
Yes.
Mark it on your calendars.
Yes, guys.
It's going down again.
I'll be there. Whether I'm performing on the stage or not, I'll be there.
Getting hit on again.
Yes. If you want your chance, there's your chance,
Oh
guys.
my God. No, don't say that. You don't give everybody hope.
That is true.
And girls. That's funny.
I mean, there have been a few comedians that have hit on me before, hit my DMs before, but I won't say who on
I can't
the
wait
podcast.
to find out. No.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast everything who.
I wouldn't be surprised most of them because that list is kind of funny. I don't know if I want to date another comedian because if you break up, you gonna put all your shit on stage.
Exactly. And I've had debates with those people that have hit on me before. They're like, why wouldn't you date a comedian? I'm like, because I've been on an all-boys wrestling team. You guys talk shit. You talk about who you fuck and what you do while fucking that person. And a lot of times I knew who that was. But also, I didn't say anything because I'm like, those are my boys. And I don't want the other people that I knew, like, they were more like acquaintances or whatever.
That's funny.
But yeah, like, I know that guys talk. But
Girls
girls talk too.
Girls talk and guys talk.
I mean, my girlfriends and I have talked, especially when, like I mentioned, like in the previous one, whenever.
And comedians love to talk.
Yes, comedians love to talk because we didn't really get to talk as much as kids because we got pushed to the side sometimes. Not saying anything, mom and dad, that you did that, but you know, sometimes kids get pushed to the side.
I was the only boy growing up, so I had nothing but sisters. And so my thing was like, look, it's time for me to talk. Now I want to talk.
Yeah.
So
I was more like the peacemaker of my family. I'm like, I'm keeping everyone together type of thing. And like, back in the day, I really wasn't funny. I was more of the serious type.
Really?
Yeah. I found comedy when I was in Bible college.
It always goes back to Bible college.
I mean, I got slightly liberated. Oh, like I came out of my shell more because I wasn't around people that I didn't really know. So I was able to develop into someone that I wanted to be without influences of voices.
Yeah.
Of all sorts. Friends, family, you name it. And when I moved here to Tennessee, that's when I did like a 180 of who I was. You know, I'd never been to a club before until I came here. Yeah.
But how old were you when you came here?
23.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Next year will be 10 years.
I didn't really come out of my shell until I was 2 years into high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, freshman year, sophomore year, I was like, nope, nobody talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the last 2 years, I was like, I talked to everybody.
Like, I talked to people when I was in high school. I was a really interesting breed, basically. I was like a goth girl who was on the wrestling team.
You was a goth girl?
Yeah.
I just look at old pictures of you. I can't see you being a goth girl.
Like, I was like Walmart version of
Well,
Goth
you all
Girl.
have black fingernail polish right now.
I did that for the show and everything. I'm like, I haven't worn black nail polish since like high school. When you're like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Plus, the place that I work for and everything, since it's a warehouse, they don't care what I look like. As long as I have clothes on, they're okay with it, you know? And it's all women, which is nice, too, because then you don't have to really worry about...
It's like, all women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I've heard that there's been men that have worked there before. It's just women apply for it more so than men do. So it's the kind of products that we have, because usually with those products, men don't usually go for those products unless they have a woman in their life.
I just sell women's shoes.
Okay.
On eBay and Amazon.
Smart man.
So yeah, it's my Al Bundy stage. So basically, we get shoes. I don't know. Internet changes all the time. So we used to get these big boxes of just random shoes. Mm-hmm. Some of them were great pair. What's the brand? MK. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I have before. Michael Kors?
There you go. We used to sell a lot of those shoes.
Oh, okay.
So previous girlfriends, they got tons of my shoes. I was like, yeah, these are expensive. Yeah, not for me or not.
Man, I wish I would have known you back in the day, because I would have been like, it's funny, like, I've dated guys that have more of a shoe collection than I do.
No, so basically I took pictures of shoes and did a description and put them on eBay and Facebook and, not Facebook, on Amazon, and there you go. Yeah. So I never had to put a shoe on a female and like, hey, does these fit? Does these work? No. They buy them online. Yeah. But it was mostly all shoes, some bags, not much. But, yeah. But yeah, MKs were a big seller.
Oh yeah, especially here in Tennessee.
And they're expensive. I didn't know how expensive they were until I looked up the actual website. Like, damn, these are expensive shoes.
They are. Like, the most expensive shoe that I ever bought, like, people think I'm bougie, but I'm bougie on a budget.
Everybody's bougie on a budget.
I mean, I've been called bougie before, and I'm like, no, I'm really not bougie. Really not.
Depends on your definition of bougie.
For me, it's like you're wearing MK, like top of the line designer stuff. Like,
but if it's comfortable for your feet, then I don't really call it bougie. That means you're buying it for your comfort.
Well, I guess, like, I don't know, like, I should have asked the guy, like, what did you mean exactly by bougie? He's like, I thought you were bougie, but I realized you're just, like, down to earth, laid back.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I think that's a backhanded compliment, but I don't really know. But yeah, it's an interesting realm when it comes to online selling and everything. But
interesting.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to our questions.
Yes, I'm excited about these questions.
So I'm dying. Let's do it.
So I'll do a little tame one.
I don't
first. What was your favorite subject or class back in the day?
Favorite subject? Art.
Okay.
I was totally an artistic person in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a pencil and paper. My thing is, here's the thing about me that's different from most artists. If I can see it, I can draw it. Mm-hmm. I can try and change it and make it different, but most of the time I can see it, I can draw it. Because most artists, they can just come up with whatever and paint a little happy tree here and a happy bush there. Yeah. A little creek. No, I can't come up with just random shit. But if I can see it, I could draw you right there, sitting right there. But if you told me to close your eyes and then draw you, I couldn't do it. But yeah, art was my favorite. Yeah. I loved it. And then, okay, what goes along with that was graphic arts. Back then, what was graphic arts was, this is in my high school, this is going back so many years. We do graphic arts, which was letterheads and business cards and promotional items, and to get to sell to the public or what your name brand may be. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I never thought about where does all this stuff come from. Right. But it comes from somewhere. Somebody's made it up, and somebody's put it on a shoe, a pen, a business card, or whatever. So that made me think about more stuff you can open up to put your creativity out there. Favorite subject: commercial art, graphic arts.
Good choices. Good choices. I did take art for a semester and wish I would have taken it longer. I was more of your B plus art student ever. I did decent. It was a lot of fun.
What was your type of art, though? What was your favorite?
My favorite art was more so, I did a lot of, I did a mixture of everything, but I think tempura was like my favorite medium.
Really?
Yeah. And oil pastels.
Yeah.
Oil pastels was one of my favorites. My least favorite was charcoal.
Really?
Yes. But the reason why that was is because there was one time when I was in high school where we had one planned fire drill.
A fire drill messed your whole charcoal dreams up?
A little bit. A little bit. Because when you pull so what I've been told is when you pull the alarm, the ink sprays onto your hand. And so, it was test week.
Okay. Go ahead. Is that really true? Is that something they tell kids when they won't pull the alarm?
I don't know.
Because I've heard of that. Everybody's heard of that, but I don't think that's true.
I don't know if it's true either, because I never pulled a fire alarm before. But someone or multiple people in my school, one plan, and then 7 of them throughout the day were not. So we had to keep on going out of the school, whatever. And then finally, between the 6th one and 7th one, the dean and a police officer was going through our school trying to see if they can find people with ink on their hands. And of course,
and the charcoal messed you up.
Yes. Thankfully, the dean has never really seen me in his office. So, also, I was right in the middle of doing this art piece. It was a beautiful art piece, but I had to slightly ruin it because I'm not getting a felony for that.
Hilarious.
So when they looked at me and they saw charcoals on my hand, I was like, this on my art piece, and they're like, see, charcoal. And they're like, okay, well, yeah, you're a good kid, so we don't have to worry about you. And they walked away. I'm like,
I doubt the fire alarm was spraying charcoal in your hands.
Well, they kind of looked like I had ink on my hands.
Oh, it looked like ink.
Yeah, because it was like, that's how much charcoal was on my hands. Like, that's how dirty my hands were.
Yeah.
Because I'm a messy artist when it came to that stuff. So, yeah. But later on, a couple months later down the road, I found out actually found out one of the people that did it. And I never said it.
Talk about getting busted at high school. Let me tell you a funny high school story.
Yes.
I used to do, back in the day, everybody had, picture yearbooks. You had a yearbook committee.
We had that.
Okay, now, we tried something different one year. When I was in high school, we had what's called the video yearbook. Mm-hmm. Video yearbook, used to take random videos and resell them on VHS, whatever. But I thought it was funny because, I would film a lot of the basketball, football games, a lot of sports, volleyball. And I would go and try to get creative shots. Like, I would go on the opposite side of the field and film our school on our side of the field.
Okay.
So I would do that. I would zoom in to certain people. I would zoom out. I would zoom in and zoom out. And I caught these people selling cigarettes. And I was like, what are you doing selling cigarettes in the audience? I mean, you're in the stands selling cigarettes. He said, no, I don't want the cigarettes. Oh, you're going to be in the yearbook for this.
It's like that little, tone of voice where it's like,
it's in it too. Oh, I lost a lot of stuff in a flood that we had. But I had it on video. I wish I could go back and look at it. I had on video this dude was selling cigarettes on camera.
Oh yeah,
and I caught it. It was hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. Next question.
No worries. Next question. What was your least favorite subject as it?
Least favorite, I'm bad at history.
Okay.
I'm bad at history now. If you ask me what happened last weekend, I have no idea. But history and history dates, I know what happened. I know who it happened to. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me the date. Don't ask me what time it happened. Fuck that. I don't care. It's more of a I don't care attitude.
Yeah.
If it happened back then, who cares?
Yeah.
If it happened this week, maybe I might care. But yeah, I hate history. I got a love for English and a love for math, but not like algebra and calculus. Nah. Who uses that nowadays? Nobody.
Yeah.
But math, I like math. I like not history, English.
Mm-hmm.
All the other subjects I'm good with.
Yeah.
Fuck history.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows George Washington cut down the cherry tree. Who cares what time, what day, what time of day it happened? Ben Franklin, he flew a kite. Like happening. But still, who cares when it happened?
I wonder if that's truly a real story.
Who cares?
Because guys talk, like people, like there are people out there that like talk and they over-exaggerate the story.
Yes, I agree. Who knows? Who cares?
Right.
No,
Yeah. For me, my least favorite, well, math was always a struggle for me to the point where I was in like special ed math.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found out when I was in high school that I had a learning disability in math. So there's actually times where I think it might be just like how my brain works, but if I think like if I do it too quickly, I actually switch numbers when I say it out loud.
Sometimes I'm like that, but is that dyslexia or is that?
It's a different form. I don't remember the term.
It's a numeric.
Yeah, it's
dyslexia?
like a yeah.
Oh.
So I technically have that. I don't remember what it's called, but I used to know what it's called. But that, and also in high school I failed civics.
Really?
Yes. I think it's because I had a certain type of point of view back in the day, and my teacher was the opposite. So every time I asked her to look over my essays and, said, hey, does this look good? Does this look great? She's like, yeah, it looks great. And then, like, the very next day,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think
Nope.
I mean, I liked a lot of my classes, but there were teachers that I didn't like, even though the subject was great. One of my least favorite teachers was actually a man that taught world history. And he came in later on in our semester because our original teacher broke his hip. He was an older man and broke his hip, so he couldn't get to our classroom. So we had substitute teachers for like 6 weeks. And then finally we got this one guy. I used to call him Mr. Queasyberry. Even though that wasn't his real last name, it was like Quisenberry.
I got a funny teacher name. I think about.
No, you haven't told me about it. But anyways, he did not like me from the beginning. Like he said, like, make a timeline of your life, and I mentioned that I was going to be on, an all boys wrestling team, and I was super excited. This is my first year, and he's like, good luck with that. And I was like, oh, game on, teacher, game on. Like,
the fact he was on the wrestling team is amazing.
Like, this guy was a douchebag. I don't know if he's alive still or not, but he was a douchebag. And, like, anytime I said something in class, he would always make a smart-ass remark about it. Like, I did correct him on, like, when we were doing, like, world religions, I corrected him on all top 5 religions of this class and everything. He's like, does anyone else want to ask Miss Luann?
He was an asshole in school.
Only to him. Because he was an asshole to me first. Everyone else thought I was an angel. So when I had my, like, special ed, like, IEP type of evaluation, he was the only one that said negative things about me. He was like, yeah, she's odd and awkward and blah, 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 blah. I should ask my mom if she still has it because I love her, but she keeps everything. But I think that's any mother. I'm not a mother or anything. I feel like that's probably like every mother, but
I had a teacher.
Yeah.
Her last name was Moorhead. It gets funnier. Funnier.
Did she marry someone?
My thing is, her name was Moorhead, and for the life of us, we could not figure out why we could not figure out her first name because everybody else, we had so many other teachers, we knew their first and last name. We knew, call them last name, but she would not tell us her first name.
Mm-hmm.
So. Wasn't until we was about to leave the end of the school year. And we're going to be at that school anymore. We're going to be going to the next school. We're not going to see her ever again. Mm-hmm. We finally figured out her first name was Anita. Anita Moorhead. I'm like, either your parents are really pissed off that they got pregnant, or that was a funny joke that.
Oh my God.
Anita
I would die. I would die if my
I
parents
like-
named me
I
that.
like, oh, can we please stay another year?
Oh my
We need to use
God.
that. I need a Moorhead. I like,
You could have prank called her during
Oh.
when she's teaching class.
I need a Moorhead, please. Can you come to the You can't make that up. I need a Moorhead. Yeah, I do need some Moorhead.
Oh my God, that's great. That's
Oh.
like
You can't.
winner of all weird ass names
Yes.
all put together. I can see. Yes, you win. King
I-
of strange ass
you-
teachers' names.
That's just funny.
I can see that beyond The Simpsons.
Oh my.
Like, remember Bart Simpson, like,
Call in pranks all the time.
at Moe's? And he's
Yes.
always like, I need a Moorhead! I need a Moorhead! Where the fuck is Anita Moorhead? Well, he doesn't say fuck because
Yes. But
Simpsons will
still,
take on
it's,
that.
oh
but
my
yeah.
God, you gotta be kidding me. Your name was Anita Moorhead this whole time. You didn't tell us. There's a reason why she didn't tell us.
Because everyone, the
We would-
smart asses in class, we all had that smart ass in class that would be like,
We would not let that go.
yeah, exactly. So
Every
she's
day.
smart not telling you guys that.
Anita Moorhead.
You ask a question now.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, have you ever been skinny dipping?
I have actually. Twice actually.
Twice.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It was both when I was in high school, both at a apartment
Pool.
pool.
Okay.
Well, there was like no one around besides like my friends and I, whatever. And we are just like, let's do this.
That's fun.
I almost got caught once. And thankfully my friend was more voluptuous than I was, so I hid behind her so I could change back into my clothes because if I didn't, a mother and her child would have saw me butt-ass naked.
That's fun.
Because we during like later in the afternoon during like dinner time. And yeah.
So between my house and this club we used to go to,
Mhm.
there used to be, we used to go to the lake and we used to smoke
Yeah.
weed and get high and have fun. Somebody brought up, hey, let's all go skinny dipping.
Mhm.
5 cars of us pulled up and we were packed deep. We all go skinny dipping. I'm talking about everybody complete butt naked. And of course it's okay, this is after the bars have closed down. So that means nobody's at the park. Nobody's there. Nobody's pulling up and seeing what we're doing. Completely dead. Had a great time. Then all of a sudden cops show up. And you ever seen 5, 6 cars of people just naked running around trying to put on clothes? Oh, I wish I had a video camera.
Right.
It was the best thing ever. So yes, so we used to go skinny dipping all the time. It took one time for the cops to show up and we stopped doing that shit.
Yeah.
I so miss it. Like, oh shit, let's go skinny dipping again. It was fun.
Yeah. There was actually one time I went.
In the lake.
So there's like places in Seattle where you can actually there's one week during the month of Seattle. I think it's like in June. I don't remember what the festival's called, but they're bicycling naked.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
They do it in Seattle?
Yeah, they
I
do it
thought
in Seattle.
I thought it was somewhere else. I thought they do it in New York. I don't know. They may do it in both places.
Well, it's very liberated places.
Yes.
Technically, by law, you can walk around the streets of Seattle nude. You just can't be lewd.
Really?
Yes. I haven't seen that besides, well, I've never been to an event. I just saw it on the news, and you just see, like, bikers censored with their junk.
That is hilarious. As a man, how do you ride a bike with your junk on the seats?
Every time I see it, they're always, like, standing up
Yeah.
and, like, making sure that they're not touching their junk with the seat.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I've never been to that event, but I've been to, like, a park where that's allowed.
Around Valentine's Day in Nashville, they have underwear.
Yes, I've had friends that have done that before. I've never done it before because for the longest time I'm like, I'm gonna jiggle all over the place. And all my friends that do it are like super fit, so I'm like, of course you're gonna look good wearing underwear. Me, on the other hand, everything's gonna be bouncing everywhere.
I'll do it if I don't tell no other of my friends that I'm doing it. Because if everybody shows up and knows I'm doing it, pictures are going everywhere.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not having that. So I would do it if none of my friends show up.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I mean, just say that you're performing comedy at this place and then they're not going to show up. Because every time I tell people, like, I want to see you do comedy. I'm like, great, these are the days I'm going. It's free.
Yes.
And, like, only, like, maybe once in the blue moon, like, one friend will show up, which I appreciate that, of course. But there's, like, plenty of times when I'm like, yeah, come. And, like, everyone's like, I'm coming. And then all of a sudden, like,
nope.
Either 0 or 1 person shows up. I'm like, I love the person that shows up. But, yes. But
Oh, my God.
Just tell them that you're performing comedy there and they won't show up.
You're smart. I hate it without so smart. Oh, my God.
Yes, we're calling out on you guys that say that you're going to come to our comedy shows and you don't. Love you guys.
That's hilarious.
But it's true. What other questions do you have?
I don't know. Wait a minute.
If you don't have one, I have.
No, you ask.
Have you ever cried or fallen asleep during sex?
Oh, yes.
Which one?
Falling asleep. I haven't cried during sex. But I've fallen asleep definitely during sex. Because, hold on. Well, the thing is, if sex is planned, then you leave the bar or club early. Go home and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you never know. It might happen. You're not realizing it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's late at night. Now it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what? I need sleep. But I don't want to disappoint nobody.
Right.
And so I'm going to try my hardest to hang in there. And next thing I'm falling asleep right in the middle of it.
Yes.
Right in the middle. Right. That's embarrassing, but it has happened. Not crying, but just falling asleep right there and like, I don't even want to go into work. Jesus. So embarrassing.
Oh,
You're
I've
like,
done it before too. I've supposedly was like woken up by an ex and we had sex and I thought we were dreaming about it. I thought I was dreaming about it. But he's like, oh yeah, we had sex. I'm like, well, I wasn't very coherent, so that's one aspect of it. But then the last guy that I dated, it was only a 2-month relationship, and I probably know why it probably happened. Because every time something happens, it was when I was like about to fall asleep or falling asleep, and he like asks me a question. And while I was like half asleep, I was like, oh yeah, like, I said that his dick was about an inch. While I was about to fall asleep, he's like, whoa, wait, you say my dick is an inch? Or 2 inches. It was like one of those, like 2 to 3 inches. And he's like, this is how much this is. I'm like, sorry, you're bigger than that. You're bigger than that. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. And then the same guy, like, I was not feeling the greatest. He was so nice that he got me NyQuil and everything. And I took it that night, and we ended up having sex. And I guess I started, like, I don't usually snore, I guess. But I started snoring. He's like, are you falling asleep on me? I was like, no, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's like, you were snoring. Don't lie to me. I was like, sorry. I blame it on the NyQuil, okay? You gave me the NyQuil to make me feel better, and you thought having sex right now would be the best time ever?
And that's the end of our story.
Yes.